excited. Today I am sharing the third step in my three-step process. So if you are an online business owner, a coach, and you are doing all the things that you think you need to do in order to get clients. So maybe you've done 5-day challenges. Maybe you have done all the different platforms. So you're working on growing your Instagram, growing your LinkedIn, growing your Facebook, maybe even growing your YouTube. You're doing email marketing. You are doing nurture sequences. You're doing funnels. You're doing all the things that all the people in all the world tell you need to do in order to attract clients. I have done all of those things and they are exhausting. And a lot of times, and this is what happened for me and for my clients too, is they disconnect you from the love of coaching, the love of your business, the love of what it is that you're providing your clients, because you're doing all the things that aren't necessarily the things that you love doing in order to do the thing that you love doing. And what ends up happening is you spend so much time doing the things you're not loving instead of the thing you are loving, that a lot of times, this happened to me again and to my clients, you end up doubting yourself. You end up feeling like maybe you should give up, maybe this isn't for you, because all those things are just taking up tons of time and they're not bringing you that much closer to success, to progress, to clients. Yay! Connie, I'm so psyched you're here. I'm talking about all the things that all the gurus tell us that we need to be doing, and I'm going to share with you what you can do instead. So I've done so many of those things. I can't tell you how many. Well, actually, I probably could count them. I have over 30 different free resources that I've created that have an entire nurture sequence, that have a entire follow-up sequence. I mean, think about how many hours I spent doing those things. One of them has 16 videos I created. Another one has 5 hours of training. I mean, think about all that time I spent not only promoting those things, then developing the content, then delivering those things, and then following up. And they didn't give me the clients that I was hoping for. And that's really discouraging, to go through all that time and know you're amazing, know you have amazing value in what you're providing, and it's not getting to the people that you want it to be getting to, and you're not able to help the people you're meant to help. So just to backtrack a little bit, if you weren't with me on days 1 and 2, I'm going to share with those step 1 and step 2 so you understand how step 3 is connected, because step 3 is the connection between steps 1 and 2. So the first step, and this relates to why all those things don't work, which, of course is frustrating because, we feel like we're putting our heart and soul into creating amazing resources for our clients, but if it's not getting us clients, then the system isn't working. So that's the first part. So the first step is then really getting uber specific about who is the 1, 2, maybe 5. I would start with 3 specific real breathing people that can be helped with your specific product or service. So it's not, this general idea of this person. It's not a conglomeration of you and all your, previous clients. It's not this, fantasy avatar client. It's a real specific breathing person. So that's step 1. Step 2 is then what is really getting clear, and this is the part that I spend a lot of time on too, is really getting clear on your specific process. And so a lot of times, and this was me in the beginning, you see and you love, and this is what I love too, is all the intangible things that your clients get. They become more confident. They feel, more comfortable in their own skin. They are, having, less anxiety and less stress. And those are all amazing things. But what needs to shift is, what do those things lead to specifically for your client and specifically for your gifts and specifically for your process? So think about, because there's so many things, confidence and clarity and less stress and less anxiety leads to many things. But what is it specifically that you do with your clients that they get all those intangibles? So what is the specific tangible thing? So do they get a raise? Do they get a promotion? Do they, have that difficult conversation with their husband, so now they feel more intimate and more passionate in their relationship? Do they produce a live performance or an event or speak on stage for the first time? And there's so many things, there's so many outcomes that are specific to your specific gifts that your clients are asking for. And if they know, oh my gosh, for example, if I work with Connie, I'm going to be able to create, I'm just using this as an example, Connie, because I know you're working with creativity and really helping women feel more confident in their creativity. So one thing that could be specific, and this may not be for you or not, but it's, maybe they create, their first art show, or they sell their first piece of artwork, or they create a portfolio of their art, or they share their art for the first time on, Etsy or some form of social media. So it could be anything, but it's very specific because a very specific person is going to want that very specific outcome. And not everyone who is wanting to, deepen their creativity is going to want to share their artwork. So it's really thinking about, as they deepen their creativity, what is it that they're going to get specifically from you and your process? So that's step 2, is really, really refining and honing your process so that you are attracting the people that want that specific outcome. Cool. So that's step 1 and step 2. So then step 3, which is the magic. Well, they're all magic, but step 3 combines step 1 and 2. So you take that specific, real, breathing, amazing client, your amazing, specific process that has a very well-defined, tangible outcome, and you use those 2 things to specifically reach out to that person. So you're really honing in on, digging into your intuition and what is it that you see about this person that's amazing that they may not see, and that if they tapped into that, it would make all the difference in the world for them in whatever area it is that you're working with them on. And you reach out to them and tell them that, so that they are starting to step into a new level of consciousness and seeing, oh my gosh, this could be possible for me. And how did she know that? And how did she know I really wanted that? And how did, even touching on what you notice about what they're afraid of? Because when you are that intimate with your client, their secret fears. So even talking about that when you reach out. So again, it's not this script that you're sending out to tons and tons of people. You are looking at this specific person and saying, gosh, I know they're really struggling with this, and I know they really want this, and I know my process can help them get there. So I'm going to write a very specific message just to this person and let them know, this is what I see is possible for you. And I know that you're struggling with this because I've struggled with this. And this is what can happen specifically in my process. So when you're that fine-tuned, what happens is, and that's what happened to me, is that people are excited to get on the phone with you because deep down they want that, but they have gotten to a place, and this is where I was too, where they don't know if it's even possible anymore. They've invested with lots of coaches. They've done lots of programs. They've been burned. They haven't seen much progress in many results. And so they're like, I don't know, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should just give up. And so that when you come in, you're touching on that point of I don't know anymore, but then you're also touching on that point of but I really, really want this. And if I could really find the right support, I know what would be possible for me. And so you're providing that support. And that's what I love about this process or this system is, it allows you to hone in on what you're the best at, because the sooner you can start helping clients, the better, because it's all the other things. And this is what was true for me. All the other things. I mean, think about how many hours I spent developing, amazing resources, promoting them, delivering them, following up with them, when I could have been coaching clients, and those clients could have been getting results, could have been transforming their life much more effectively than reading or, some resource that I created or listening to some video. Because really, transformation happens in relationship. When someone is seen, is heard, is understood, and feels safe and accepted to make mistakes and to have done things that didn't work, and still have that space where they can start to believe again and trust themselves again, and know that you're the right client or you're the right coach for them, to bring them to finally break through and free to what's been holding them back all this time. So how this is different. If you have questions, let me know. I have worked with coaches who had scripts, and I never really felt comfortable with scripts. It just felt really disconnected. I'm a person that, I value relationships, and I just feel like there's something missing when we're doing this script, because we're not honoring that person. And I've received so many scripts, and it just doesn't feel, it just feels like, they're like not sandblasting, but they're like dive bombing, like just throwing all these messages to all these people, hoping that one person decides, oh yeah. So it's like the metaphor I used the other day was like, it's like you're throwing this huge net into this huge ocean, hoping that maybe one of the fish bite. Instead of this system, this process is you only want one fish, and you have the exact perfect food for that fish, so that that fish is going to bite. So that's how it's different. And what I love about it too is that it's honoring the person, it's seeing the person, it's knowing who they are and what they desire and what they're afraid of, and it's being able to speak to that in a very conscious, deliberate, and very full of integrity way. I can't think of a word. Integrity, full of integrity way. So that is the third step. And that step is what changed everything for me, because I was doing all the things and it wasn't working, and it was really discouraging and it was frustrating, and I started to doubt myself and was really ashamed of all I had invested in my business, and also just really sad that I wanted to be helping clients and I knew I had amazing skills, but the space between putting my message out there and the space between getting a client was just too long. And I knew from my own experience, like, that month or that couple weeks is hell a lot of times for your clients, of like, going through, like trying to figure it out, doubting themselves, questioning whether they have what it takes. If you can get to them sooner, then you save them those couple weeks, couple months, couple years of being in that process of, deepening their despair, deepening their doubt, deepening their discontent, deepening their disconnection. Because when you're that, in that place of, doubting and questioning, a lot of times what happens is we disconnect. We start to seek out distractions. So we don't feel that discomfort and that pain, because we start to wonder, is it ever going to get better? So then we seek, alcohol, food, social media, and we don't honor that calling that is saying, no, I want this. I want this. I want something different. I don't know what it is, and it's not been working so far, but I want something different. And so when you can start coaching them sooner, they get that change. And that is the most important thing to me, is that if I can play a role in reducing the amount of people in that place of, struggling and doubting and being ashamed of all their investments and not seeing that, change happen, if we can reduce that amount of time so that they are seeing you as the only person they want to work with and the only person that they can trust, and that they know that you will get them what they desire, then they get to change as soon as possible. They get to change within the first couple of weeks of working with you, instead of, months of creating more crap that doesn't actually help. Or for clients, a lot of times consuming more crap, like consuming more information, more opt-ins, more videos that doesn't actually help them change. So, any questions? So I will be also sharing my story on Tuesday, 1/11 on Mountain Daylight Time, how I made this change. So join me for that, because it really made all the difference, because my heart has always been wanting to serve. And where this, discontent and like frustration and disbelief was coming was that I wasn't serving in the way I wanted to be serving. And that was painful for me, because I knew there's more than doing all this crap, doing all the things that all the people say that we need to be doing, all the lead generation that everyone says we need to be doing. It's like, if you know you can help this person, why wouldn't you want to start helping them right away? Why would you want to wait a month? Why would you want to wait a couple weeks? And for your clients too, if they know, oh my gosh, Connie can help me today, I want to start working with her today, why would they, want to wait a couple weeks until you've done your, 5-day challenge, or you've done your, your opt-in, and then you've nurtured them, and then all that stuff. You are saying you get right to the nitty-gritty. Yes. Yeah. You speak the truth, specifically to one person, and specifically about your process, and specifically about what is the tangible, because there might be many tangible outcomes, but you want to focus on the tangible outcome that you love getting people. So what is it that you're like, if every person got this working with me, that's all I want to do. That's all I want to talk about, because you know the impact of that. And of course, along the way, they're going to get the intangible outcomes of increased confidence and more clarity and less stress and less anxiety and, more comfort in their own skin, more confident self-expression. All of that happens on the way to their tangible outcome that you are specifically targeting for them. Yes, good question, Connie. So how do you figure out your specific person? Okay, so what you can think about is really it's evaluating your world. So who in your world is like someone like, oh my God, I would love to work with her. Like maybe you notice she's always talking about, creativity or struggling with creativity. Like you start to pick up on their messages that they're putting out. And this could be, Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be wherever you hang out. Is that you start to notice, you start to go and start kind of read like intuitively the people in your world that you're like, oh my God, like I just did this the other day. I'm like, I was reading someone's post and like everything they said was like, I know I can help her. And I feel like I already know her because she has a lot of things that I've been through. And so you start to see that and you're like, I know I can help her. I know my process will work for her. And really it's that confidence in what you have to offer that makes it easier too. Because then you can see this person, no, this person, yes. And that's what I help my clients with, is we go through and read their community to see whatever their community is, their specific, where they hang out. And we read and see who are the people that are ready to really make that change and are ready to invest and are ready to get exactly what you offer. And then we specifically fine tune hey Stacy, your messaging to them. So it's not only that you're reaching out to people, then you can also use a lot of that messaging in your marketing. So your marketing starts to completely turn around so that you are speaking to that specific person also in your marketing. So that you're not getting people that are just kind of like hanging out, looking around, or just getting likes. You're getting people like, what? I need this. When can we talk? Because that's the goal, is to be so precise in your language that you have people that are like, I want that, and I only want that, and I only want to do it with Connie. So, does that make sense, Connie? So, any other questions? Stacy, so nice to see you here. So I am open to talking to all of you more in person meaning like virtually, unfortunately, because we're still in this lovely isolation world. And so reach out to me with questions, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. And also come back on Tuesday where I'll share my story about all the investments I made, all the things I did, and then what happened when I made this change, like night and day. Cool? Okay. If there's no questions, I will let you all go. Connie, let's talk. I'd love to talk to you because I know this would work for you. It'd be amazing for you because there are so many people that are just not getting it and they need you. Cool? Okay. All of you listening, everyone needs exactly what you're offering. And it's not about masses. It's not about vanity measures. It's not about how many people are following you and how many people are liking. I mean, maybe you've heard I can't remember, there's a woman who had millions of followers and she needed to sell 40 t-shirts in order to like get a cheaper discount on production or something. And she's a really famous person. I can't remember her name. A really famous singer. She couldn't get 40 people to buy. So she has millions of people like, you're amazing, but no one committing. And that's a lot of times what happens with a lot of the, people on social media, that they're like, oh my God, like all these people love me, but no one's buying. Like I have a woman recently I talked to who said that I have so many followers and they're so engaged, but no one's buying. And that's because your message isn't specific enough. And it's not you knowing one living, breathing person that you can get a very specific, tangible outcome for, because that's what will change. So it's not about numbers. It's about specificity. It's about precision. It's about intimacy. And it's about being confident in your process with a tangible outcome attached. Okay? All right. I was there too, y'all. I mean, I was all about feeling bad that my numbers were low, but it's not about that. It's really about how precise you are in your communication and how you are designed to help a very specific person in your process is designed to help that specific person get a very specific outcome. Okay. All right. Yay. So happy to see you all. Have an amazing day. I'll see you all soon. Bye.